Call the meeting to order. Before we begin, I will turn it back over to Dr. Burnham to confirm member access.
Thank you. As a preliminary matter, this is Dr. Burnham, Superintendent of Schools. I will do a roll call to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Chairperson Wendy Bertrand.
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Carol Ashambo.
Yes.
Secretary Laura Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Brian Leighton.
Yes.
Ms. Sophie Shapiro.
Yes.
And our student representative this evening is Dylan Pignarczyk. Got stuck on that one. Thank you for being here tonight, Dylan. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Recording Secretary, Ms. Susan Summers.
Yes.
Our 2021 class advisors, Ms. Tammy York and Mr. Rich Cohen.
Yes.
And the Lunenburg High School Guidance Department Head, Ms. Sue Cavioli. All right, I'll turn it back over to you, Mrs. Bertrand.
Thank you. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and is being broadcast over the Lunenburg Public Access channel and streaming on Facebook Live. And this meeting of the Lunenburg School Committee is being conducted remotely. The town of Lunenburg, in response to the COVID-19 coronavirus, is currently following the guidance from the Lunenburg Board of Health, Massachusetts Department of Public Health, and the CDC regarding the virus and steps communities can take to prevent the spread, and town facilities are currently closed to the public. In accordance with the governor's order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GL 30A, Section 20, all public meetings are being conducted remotely. The order, which you can find posted on the town website on the COVID-19 information page, accessed through the town manager's webpage, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the Lunenburg School Committee is convening by telephone conference, video conference, via Zoom app, Facebook Live, as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating via video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that others may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Meeting business ground rules. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I, Wendy Bertrand, the chair, will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, I will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, remember to please mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. And also, please remember to speak clearly in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. And if members wish to engage in colloquy with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. And for items of public comment after members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment as follows. I will first ask members of the public who wish to speak to identify their names and addresses. And then I will call on each by name for up to 3 minutes of comments. And finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. So our first item on the agenda is a chair's report, and I do not have a dedicated chair's report this evening, so I will turn right over to our presentation from Ms. Cavioli.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to apologize in advance for my technology skills, but I do have a presentation to share with you. So how should I best go about doing that?
You should be able to screen share, but if you have trouble with that, Mrs. Cavioli, let me know and I'll pull it up.
Oh, well, I made some changes to it. Is there any way I can be made the host? I don't know. Or you could just pull it up and I will just highlight whatever. Well, I do have some things I want to share, though, that
You should be all set.
I should. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No worries.
How do I become the host?
I made you a co-host, so you should be able to share.
Okay, so I can just. Can everybody see that?
No.
Okay. Okay, escape. Okay. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Is it a Google slide?
Yeah, it's a Google slide presentation.
Can you share it with me and I'll pull it up?
Okay. But okay, I just have tabs that I don't know where it says I can be host. Let me try. Share screen. Oh, hold on. I might have it. I share sound. I think I've got it.
You've got it.
Did I get it?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Sorry, it took me a little bit, but
No
first of
worries.
all, thank you. Thank you for inviting me here this evening to introduce MyCap. It's a college and career advising program, and MyCap encourages students to discover their own individual pathway to the future. We as school counselors and some staff members were introduced to MyCap last year. We all determined the value of this program and the many valuable components it has. And we began introducing parts of this program to our students, staff, and families in January of 2020. There's a lot more to introduce, but I'm going to kind of highlight what got us there and what we've been doing with our students. So I'm hopeful that you will all see the value of this program as well. So just a little history. In 2013, the boards of elementary and secondary education, along with the Department of Higher Ed, approved a joint definition of college and career readiness and prepared for civic engagement by identifying the 3 domains for post-secondary success, that being academic achievement, personal and social development, and workplace readiness. Okay, so MyCap, formerly known as the Individual Learning Plan, is a promising strategy that addresses each of these domains. So MyCap in a nutshell is a student-centered, multi-year planning tool designed to provide students with ongoing opportunities to plan for their academic success, personal and social skill development, and career success. By identifying interests and goals, along with any acknowledgement of barriers to success, MyCap maps an academic plan, personal skill attainment, and workplace readiness activities required to achieve this success. So, like I said, last year, we attended it was a developmental series workshop sponsored by DESE. Teachers attended, the school counselors attended, and we did have Mr. McGrath attend as well. It was a series of 3 workshops. The first workshop focused on seeing the big picture, kind of an introduction to what exactly is MyCap. The second workshop, and I'm really going to focus on that first workshop that we attended during the rest of my presentation. But the second workshop was great as well. We really could dive into our program. We came up with some ideas about piloting a program and how we were going to introduce it. We were given a workbook, Making the Future, and it works across curriculums and how different genres can be working with students to develop these 3 domains. And then how to get how to get everybody involved, because MyCap isn't just from the school counseling department. It involves, school staff. It involves parents. It involves the community. It goes real deep. And that was what the title of the second workshop was. The third workshop, called Making It Work, and that's when you actually come up with your physical plan of how you're going to make it work, was unfortunately canceled due to COVID. And that one, I believe that one was scheduled for March. And we weren't in school at the time. So basically what these series of workshops did was they helped schools design and customize and implement a high quality career in college planning program. So just so MyCap is both a process and an electronic platform. As a process, beginning as early as 6th grade, students engage in activities that will ultimately help them answer the question, who am I? What do I want to do? And how do I get there? On all of these questions, they have activities and tools that, again, align with those 3 domains of college and career readiness. Through MyCap, through the MyCap process, students set attainable goals based on their interests and their strengths. They engage in activities that promote academic achievement, personal and social development, and career development. Through the MyCap process, students are provided the opportunity, the support, and structure of a continuum of development in each of the domains, and help them make informed decisions about post-secondary choices. As a whole, this process, as a whole school process, the knowledge, skills, and experiences are gained not only with the school counselors, but in the classroom, with school activities, in relationships, and also within the community. Then MyCap as an electronic platform, the electronic platforms that we've been exposed to, we have Naviance. This is the one that we had when we went to this workshop. We were introduced to MIFA My Pathway, which is also another electronic platform that I will show you more of. But when we compared the two, both MIFA and Naviance provided the search engines. Both MIFA and Naviance provides a place to organize records and progress made trying to achieve your academic success and personal and social development and your career development. MIFA, we found MIFA and Naviance both help capture documents at each grade level, and MIFA and Naviance both has a place where you can reflect, and parents and teachers can review some goals and aspirations and look at their plans. With that said, keep in mind that MIFA is a free program. So in workshop 1, where it was all about seeing the big picture, we reviewed Lunenburg High School's present career and college programming and compared them to the key components of the MyCap program. We looked at what we have, what we need, areas to improve, and what were our challenges. So in one of the components was assessment. How the self-assessments that are available to students. We felt we met that component because Naviance did allow students to do some self-assessments. And as looking at careers and coming up with a game plan and what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, where can I go from here. Naviance also met the component of being able to search and sort. Students could search different career paths, certain post-secondary choices, and all available learning opportunities. What we didn't have through Naviance at the time was an e-portfolio, and that is really neat. I'm going to show you one. It's a visual snapshot of what students have done over the years, their individual goals, what are their skills, what are their talents, what are they like, what are their educational coursework they can put in their resume, what are some artifacts of learning that it will show their college search. Like I said, I will show you that in a few minutes. Also, other key components, you can see them all. I don't need to read them all. They're all available in MIFA and Naviance. However, we feel this was an area we could also improve on with our programming. The biggest challenges that we faced was not utilizing Naviance to its capacity. We also, we found the biggest challenge was that we don't have access to the students, meaning we don't have a classroom. We don't have a scheduled time with the students. It's sometimes very difficult. We go into study halls. We address things in advisory. However, it's kind of hard sometimes to get the buy-in because we're not a mandated program, right? So it's somehow we're looking at ways that we could improve that. So also during this first meeting, this first workshop, we were introduced to Jennifer Bento, and she's our area consultant from MIFA. And for those of you that are not aware of MIFA, I think most of you are, it's the Massachusetts Educational Financial Authority. And they had developed this new program called MIFA Pathway. And we've met with Jennifer several times, and we've begun to introduce MIFA My Pathway to our students, thinking we are going to replace Naviance with this MIFA Pathway. And did I tell you guys it was free? It's a free program. Okay, just making sure. This is a quick video. I think it's just like 3 minutes long of how MIFA Pathway works. So let's hope it works here. Let me see. Oh, no, sorry. I'll go back. Okay. Okay, okay, so it works. Can you guys see that?
Welcome to MIFA Pathway, your plan for the future. The interactive destination for Massachusetts students grades 6 to 12, plotting their educational and career plans, and the school counselors and parents helping them on their way. You'll be able to make this journey entirely yours in several ways. Your school counselor can assist you as you create your own unique profile, an overview of what makes you, you. And your first step is building your very own digital portfolio, an ever-changing and growing visual snapshot of your interests, skills, and activities. Watch as your digital portfolio grows to encompass more of what excites and appeals to you. The information you add to your profile also triggers the creation of your very own resume, capturing what you've done and summarizing what you have to offer. You'll want to keep your profile up to date as you gain more experience in and out of school. Use MIFA Pathway to get to know yourself better through informative quizzes and questionnaires that reveal your interests and skills and how they match up with particular careers. Are you artistic or analytical? Could you be a future designer or an accountant? Dive in. You might be surprised what you discover about yourself. Search a wide range of career categories to discover the types of jobs associated with your interests and skills. Explore what it takes to be prepared for jobs that may appeal to you. Talk with your school counselor about how you might come up with a plan to develop the skills and knowledge necessary to better position yourself for success on the career path of your choice. Also, when it comes to researching colleges, MIFA Pathway allows you to assemble appealing options that meet your preferred criteria, like location, size, or setting. See how colleges stack up against each other by comparing details about cost, academics, and even admissions difficulty. And when it comes to navigating how to apply to college, MIFA Pathway is the place to be. We'll walk you through every step of the application process. You'll learn about the various ways to pay for school, including how grants and scholarships might make attending even the college of your dreams a real possibility. So go ahead, explore MIFA Pathway today to help you plan and prepare for your future.
Okay, so let's get out of that. Okay. So now if I go back to, I'm going to show you some other features, just so you get a sense of. Oh gosh, of course I've logged out. Okay, so this is an example. Thinking you can all see this of the counselor version. So this is mine. You can see the students that we have enrolled year 2022, 21, 22, and 23. We are in the process of adding the course planner. We've added all of our courses in. As you can see, we've got them all in here. We would like to eventually get every course that we have in there. We're thinking we might ask if we could possibly get a step student that might be able to input all this wealth of all this information that we have in there. We were able to, Katie Berry, our new administrative assistant, was able to enter all the scholarships in here. So the students, the seniors, had them all in one place where they could apply for them. And now, as far as transcripts and letters of recommendation, this is new to MIFA Pathway. They now are in alignment with the Common App in Parchment, which is similar to eDocs, and they now have the ability to send transcripts and letters of recommendation to colleges. They weren't able to do that before. That's why we kept part of Naviance, because Naviance could do that for us. But now we're in the process of discussing going full in with MIFA My Pathway, and maybe not needing Naviance anymore. Did I tell you guys it's free? It's a free program. Okay, just wanted to throw that in there. So this is a way that we can keep track of student activity. I was given permission by this student and her parents to show you her activity page. So this student is a senior that engaged in all of the activities that we asked. So this is what you can see. So this student, Calliope, she did all the assessments. She did the skills, the interest, and the work values. She searched careers. She did a resume. She started her college list, but unfortunately couldn't do the application through MIFA because we didn't have the ability to, upload to the Common App or do the Parchment. So if I scroll down, you can see. You can see the dates when she took the assessments. You can go in and look at those assessments. She did, these are all of her different activities that she participates in. The resume, so it's everything's here. Oh, there's another section, and this is really valuable. At beginning, we're having students as freshmen start now, of sophomores, enter all those awards and honors that you receive. So you can see she's had a few. So she was able to enter all that. So the point being, when it comes time to do your applications, you've got all this information right at your fingertips. And if we start as early as sixth grade, eventually, it's a great program. And then she put in some of her employment. You can see some of these are her skill assessments, and some of the career categories. Oh, she didn't put that in, but so it's a tool that you can use, and it's a wealth of information that students have, that counselors have, that parents have, that teachers have, staff has, and it's all right at your fingertips in one nice, neat little spot. I'm gonna, if you just give me a minute, I did create a student account. If you just it timed out. So let's hope it works. Okay. So can you see this, everyone? Okay. So I created an account and pretended I was a senior. So this is my account, and creating a profile. You're seeing my profile page. So students go in and they create their own profile. No, I don't want that one. Sorry. Profile details. Okay, so this is the place where they can add all of their personal information, the school, if they came from various schools, what academics they were involved in. They can put in test scores. This one's their activities, all their awards throughout their years in high school. They can put once they do the assessments, all their skills and strengths are loaded onto this page. This is where they can put in employment, and this is where they can put any certification that they may have, like a lifeguard certification or something of that nature, which is really valuable. This is my favorite, the digital portfolio. As you complete activities in here, this is that e-portfolio that we talked about as part of the MyCap program. So what it does is it just captures everything in a snapshot. So it would have all the activities in here based on my assessments. These are my favorite subjects. These were my interests. These are my skill sets. Over here, I didn't add my honors and awards. If I had a resume, it goes there. I did do a career in college search, and I evidently should be an interior designer, according to this. But anyway, and it further lets you, dive into those careers and how do I get there? What do I need in order to get there? And it came up with I searched a few colleges. But this plan, this e-portfolio, this is just very simple. As we learn more and more about this pathway program, there are more tools and more information that students can be putting on this site. And again, as far as managing their applications, paying for college. I could go on and on telling you all about this pathway and all of the tools that are available to our students, and we're still learning. What a neat one was the college costs, where you can compare. You can put in colleges you've been accepted to, and you can put in the amounts money you've been awarded, and you can do a whole calculation of what school is the better one for you to go to financially. So it's like I said, we're still learning about this program and all of its components, but really just see the value in it. We did like Naviance, but we find this program more user-friendly, more eye-appealing. Jennifer Bento is available by a phone call or an email. She'll present to the school committee. She's just very easily accessible. She comes to the school and shares things with us. She's done workshops for students before. Last year when we were in the pandemic, she did a college admissions series for the students, and she was great. Oh yeah, did I tell you guys it was free? And we just really find this program very valuable. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the presentation now. That was the big part. MIFA My Pathway also has a curriculum that we've been embedding into our school counseling program with the vertical teaming. Again, I have, bear with me here. So this is the curriculum, my CAP curriculum. They have it spelled out for each grade level, where you can see some of it we already implement to the best that we can, but they have it for every grade level. As you can see, I can share this with anybody who would like it. But again, it's right at your fingertips. Everything's right there. All the activities, are there. Okay. It also got us thinking about some future initiatives, how to get more students engaged in post-secondary experiences. For example, the Early College Initiative. Last year, we met with Mount Wachusett Community College, Fitchburg State, and Middlesex Community College, and talked about some early college initiatives, which are really encouraging, and that's become a real passion of mine. So that's something I think really needs to be explored and can be explored. We talked about work-based learning, getting students involved in internships and job shadowing, more career fairs, civic engagement, and more project-based learning. Change Makers is a really neat it's an ecosystem that kind of brings the schools together and companies and nonprofit agencies, colleges, kinds of bring the community members together to help instill empathy, leadership, teamwork, and collaboration for the next generation. Their whole idea is, it takes a world to thrive in a world of change. We need children and adults to be change makers. They need to make some changes in order to discover their power and co-create their world. So that's a really cool initiative as well. MyCap has been known to make positive connections with district and school improvement plans. Because we're required to create plans that ensure the ongoing effectiveness with curriculum instruction and assessment, professional development, school safety, and family engagement. The MyCap process engages all of this. And also MyCap connects to different kinds of student plans and assists with developments of student plans, such as, such as IEPs, such as EEPs, such as individual student success plans, and career plans. So, and it does assist with some Title I plans as well. So it's just a win-win situation. Some of the essential components to this plan, as you can see, I'm not going to just read through them all. I've kind of taken up enough of your time, but regardless how we choose to implement MyCap, whether it's district-wide or on a smaller scale, these are some of the essential principles that need to be put into place, which I think we basically have. And we, like I said, we at the high school level are beginning to implement some of its components. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I did add some of the resources that I used to put this presentation together. So I don't know. I gave a wealth of information. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
I'll look to the committee. Ms. Shapiro.
Just a comment. I just wanted to thank you for how thorough this presentation was, and also just note that as someone who went through the college admissions process fairly recently, this seems like a really helpful program and something that would be really valuable to students in the high school.
Right. Yeah. Well, because you use Naviance too, right?
Yeah.
So as great as Naviance was, how would you compare, like even just visually, right? This program. So, yeah, we're really encouraged by it. So thank you.
Ms. Cavioli, what do you see as the most important next step that could be, utilized next year beyond the pieces that were this year?
Where do I start, right? It's just getting this information to the students. So, like I mentioned, we have access to the students and we get the information to them, but we don't have enough access to the students. So I'm not really sure how we can best promote that. Like I said, we go into study halls. We have junior seminars, senior seminars, but there's, for lack of a better term, there's no weight to them. Students don't have to attend. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard to get students engaged in this and get them to buy in when they don't have to. There are some students that jump on it, like the student I presented tonight, and but they all don't. But I don't know if it was continued. I don't know what the answer is, but it's just more access to students, more time with students. That would be one of my number one goals. So it seems like junior year, they get a little more interested. And of course, senior year, when they start applying to colleges, or they really having to think about their post-secondary pathway, no matter where it's going to take them. It's not that it's too late, but there's so much more that they could be doing prior to that to prepare, to get them thinking about the opportunities that are available to them. And it's not just college, right? It's the workforce. It's wherever their pathway is going to take them. We want them to be successful. We want them to be happy. And it might not be, it might not be college. It might be another pathway that they have to take. And I think that's one of the key ideas we're trying to get across to students, because they shouldn't feel that they have to go to a 4-year college, that let's expose them to other opportunities, and have them have a voice in where their pathway is going. So, but I could talk forever about this, so I'll just be quiet now. But yeah, it's more access to students. That's that access to students, and how we could manage that. That would be my wish. So, did that answer your question, Wendy?
It did. Hopefully, have you guys used advisories at all?
We do, but advisories, you've got to remember they're 22 minutes long, and advisories, we typically at the beginning of the year, we focus on the seniors and seniors that don't have study, right? And this is their only time that they can meet, their only free time that they can meet with us. So we use that. And then once that settles down, and usually like in January, we start with the junior seminars to try and introduce them to this again. And again, we use those advisories primarily to meet with students that don't have a study. And in addition to, the seminars, advisories are time, students seek us out. And they set appointments with us, and they know we're available during this time. So they do seek us out and will come see us for various reasons. So as much as we value that advisory time, it's pretty full with what we presently do. So it would be, in a perfect world, it would be nice, when we talked about a pilot program, we talked about, asking if there are any advisors that would like to co-coordinate like a pilot program. So the advisor would be engaging in activities that promote this college and career plan. So, and there's a wealth of activities and ideas, that we have. So that's another thought. But again, this is it depends on buy-in again and what the expectation is. So,
Thank you. Any other questions from the committee? Thank you, Mrs. Cavioli.
Okay, thank you again for letting me present to you this evening.
Thank you, Mrs. Cavioli.
You're welcome. Okay, so now what do I do? Do I just escape?
There should be a little toolbar up at the top of your screen with a red
Oh,
button. that says
stop share.
Yes.
Stop share. That would be a good idea. Okay, thank you. Oh, there we go. Great.
Moving on to our next item on the agenda, it is public comment, open to any of our public comment on any of our agenda items this evening. And I'm scrolling down. I am not seeing any hands raised. So we will move on to reviewing and approving meeting minutes from regular session April 7th. Dr. Burnham, were there any corrections or any comments from the committee?
No.
Okay. If not, then I will take a motion to approve these minutes. Ms. Shapiro.
This is Sophie Shapiro, and I'll move to approve the meeting minutes from our April 7th meeting.
Is there a second? Mr. Leighton?
I'll second the motion.
Ready for roll call?
Yes, please.
Ms. Shapiro,
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Leighton,
Yes.
Mrs. Archambault,
As I was not in attendance, I will abstain.
And Mrs. Bertrand.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you, everybody. We do not have any line item transfers this evening, so we will pass over that agenda item, which brings us to the superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. So I have another MCAS update for you regarding the high school. As a reminder, I just want to say that the class of 2022, they are not required to participate in MCAS testing this spring, but may do so in order to qualify for either the Adams Scholarship or the Koplik certificate. If they choose not to participate this spring, they will have another opportunity to do so in the fall. The class of 2023, our 10th graders, they will take and they must pass MCAS tests in English and ELA, or ELA and math. They also need to, of course, meet their local requirements to be able to graduate as well. Students in the class of 2024, our 9th graders, they will take a test in ELA and mathematics next year, but they are also required to take and pass a test in science. They will take a science test this year or next. The test administration itself, the high school will follow health and safety protocols during the MCAS testing. They will be testing students in the cafeteria and the middle school project room. They will ensure 6 feet of separation between students during testing. Students will be required to bring in their school-issued Chromebooks, as the MCAS test will be computer-based. Grade 10 students who are currently attending in-school learning will be tested by cohort. Cohort A will be any folks with the last name A through L. Cohort B will be M through Z. They will test on alternating days. So in other words, we're splitting the class in half. The kiddos who are tested, let's say tomorrow, they go to the cafeteria, they take their test. The other kiddos are in their classroom, going through their regular school day schedule. The following day, the other cohort reports to the cafeteria, and the other kiddos who are tested go through their day with their typical schedule. This we thought was the best way to, ensure an environment that could be supervised not only for test supervision, but also for safety protocols, et cetera. And our teachers are not going to be asked to proctor the test this year. And in doing the administration in this way, we can use administrators to proctor the test. So MCAS tests for the high school level are not going to be available to be given remotely. So remote students will have to come into school to test. In-school testing for grades 10 will begin Monday, May 10th with the ELA session and will conclude Friday, May 14th. The math sessions will begin May 18th and conclude on the 21st. For grade 11 students, the ones who are opting to test for the scholarship, those tests will begin for ELA May 11th and for math May 19th. And there will be 2 days of testing because, of course, we're breaking them into the cohorts. And lastly, the remote student testing schedule for grades 10 and 11. The ELA sessions will begin on May 10th and conclude May 12th. Math sessions will begin May 18th and conclude May 20th. And that is your update for MCAS at the high school. I do think that they've put a good plan in place, and I anticipate that things will go very smoothly. I'd also like to offer a reminder for parents that we do have 2 early release professional development days in May, Thursday, May 13th and Friday, May 28th. I wanted to provide you an update relative to bus transportation and the wait list. At this point, all folks who were placed on a wait list for bus transportation have been accommodated. And lastly, I would like to offer my gratitude, say thank you to Mrs. Bertrand and congratulate her on her years of service on the school committee and for the last year serving as the chair. I'd offer you congratulations and wish you all the best as you move on to other endeavors.
Thank you.
And-
Thank you very much. It's funny, I was going to wait and say something during public comment, but it's been an honor to serve the last 6 years, and I've learned a great deal about our district, and definitely feel 6 years later we are in a much better place overall around teaching and learning, and what is in best interest of growth and thriving for our students. So I wish the committee well and the district well, and I know you'll be in good hands with the committee members who remain, and hopefully another committee member as well. Elections are May 15th, so thank you.
Mrs. Bertrand, I'd like to jump in and thank you also on behalf of the school committee for your many years of service to the children of Lunenburg, and your collaborative spirit and your careful consideration of all the matters brought before the committee has been greatly appreciated. So we thank you.
Thank you.
I also just
Matt,
wanted to
no.
say one more.
All right, Laura.
As a first year committee member, obviously this year was very daunting coming in, and I just wanted to say thank you for always being available for my endless questions. And you've just been so patient and lovely, and just I really wanted to thank you for being such a guide throughout this year, especially being just a little bit different. But thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Wendy, I also wanted to thank you. I appreciate your leadership and also your open communication. It's been a pleasure working with you on the school committee.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll just second everything that everybody said, especially Laura. It's been a tough year, but just having you teaching us through our first year has been absolutely amazing. And I don't think that Laura and I would have been the successes we were this year without you. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. This was a tough year to come on board, no doubt. Thank you, everybody. I will miss you guys a great deal. So I'll tune in on Wednesday nights and watch from home. So thank you, guys. Best of luck to all of you, and thank you. So now the reason we're here as a school committee are students. So I'll turn it over to Dylan for a student representative report.
Thank you. So I'll start at the high school. This week is Teacher Appreciation Week, and Lakeview Nursery kindly donated tomato plants to be gifted to our teachers, and the horticulture students prepared them for planting. The LHS Student Council would like to thank both these groups for supporting Lunenburg teachers. We would also like to thank all the educators for all their dedication throughout the year. It's been a very difficult time, but just like us, the plants are still growing. And MCAS testing, of course, is starting next week for 10th grade students. And to weigh in on an issue that we've heard quite frequently, Wi-Fi outages have been causing problems for both teachers and students. We've been told by the administration that the tech departments are working to keep a stable internet connection in preparation for MCAS. And the student body completely understands that the district is working to fix the issue, and we admire the effort. But we wanted to weigh in on the day-to-day complications that arise for both remote students and in-person students. With so much online this year, general classwork, online-based tests, and presentations become very difficult to get through when the internet goes down, especially in such an irregular fashion. But we have noticed the work going in, and we've noticed that they are resolving the issue. The class of 2022 is hosting a fund drive accepting gently used clothing, toys, and other household items. And for the middle school, MCAS assessments begin the week of the 24th for all grades. In the elementary school, Saturday, May 8th, Lunenburg Cub Scouts will hold a Mother's Day plant sale at the Ritter Building. And that is my report for you folks. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dylan.
Dylan. On to new business, the class of 2021 release of funds and class gift proposal.
So we'll turn it over to our class advisors, Mr. Cohen and Ms. York.
Hello. So on behalf of Mr. Cohen, my co-advisor, and we've got 4 class officers on here as well. We wanted to, or the class of 2021 wants to request that all of their remaining funds from the past 4 years, fundraisers and dues collection and things like that, be transferred into a new account, which they're in the process of setting up right now through Workers Credit Union, so that they can use the funds for future events, reunions, and things like that. So I know that Robbie Nash and Hunter York are in the process of setting up an account. They're just waiting to get the nonprofit status set up so that we can then ask for a check. The amount that we have that's been verified by Jet Arrow is $6,379 in our account. So we're just looking for that to be transferred once the new account is officially set up.
Dr. Burnham, do you have any comment on that, or can the committee put questions to you? Or I know this is similar to what typically happens post-graduation, so I don't know if the committee has any questions.
This is very similar to, I think it was 2 meetings ago, the class of 2020 came before you to request the funds. So you have the class of 2021 before you this evening. I do think that this is in the best interest of the class.
Excellent. And before we would vote on that, do we want to hear on the class gift proposal, or wait on that, as that doesn't need a vote per se?
Well, I think both of them are separate items, so I would keep the transference of funds, separate, and then the class gift, presenting that to you would be a separate item.
Okay. All right. Well, if there are no questions from the committee, I will take a motion. Ms. Archambault.
This is Carol Ashambo, and I would move that the class of 2021 be allowed the release of their funds to the special account being set up through the class officers.
Is there a second? Ms. Kelly.
This is Laura Kelly, and I will second that motion.
Ready for roll call?
Yes.
Ms. Shapiro,
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Leighton,
Yes.
Mrs. Archambault,
Yes.
and Mrs. Bertrand.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. And now to hear on proposal for class gift.
So, we have still been working diligently as the year has progressed, even with the COVID restrictions, to make the senior year for these kids as normal as possible. And the kids got together through meetings, both virtually and in person, and came up with some ideas. And the class decided on a gift, and we're going to turn it over to our class officers. Robbie Nash is our president, and let them do the presentation because we thought that would be appropriate.
Thank you. So just to introduce myself, I'm Robbie Nash. I'm the president of the class of 2021. And so basically, when we started this process and we started talking about what we wanted to do for a class gift, we knew we wanted to do something special, something that both everyone in the school, past graduates, and as well as future members of Lunenburg High School will have the ability to really connect with, and something that could be a source of pride kind of for everyone who's ever been involved with Lunenburg. We were discussing ideas, and our vice president, Ryan Burns, brought up the idea of a statue of a Blue Knight to put outside of the school. And we started thinking about it, and we realized that this is something that we could bring to fruition. So our proposal is for a 6-foot tall, life-size Blue Knight statue that will be placed in front of the school, kind of surrounded by the granite blocks that are in front of the high school entrance. Our hope is that this statue can be a source of pride for all Lunenburg students and can be representative of the spirit that we can find within all of our students. In addition, when we have people coming into our school for athletics, academic awards, theater, drama, or really any reason why people would come to events at our school, we hope that this statue is going to let them know that they've come to the home of the Blue Knights. Thank you.
So Robbie, just curious, how are you creating this?
So we'll just be ordering it online. So we found, just online we found a statue and we can just order it and then it'll come in. It'll be it's 6 feet tall, and it'll be made out of a resin material that's going to be weatherproof, so it'll be able to withstand the conditions outside and it won't lose its shape or color.
That's so cool. Any other comments or questions from the committee? Ms. Shapiro?
Just a comment. I think that's an absolutely wonderful idea and an incredibly generous gift. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And do we need to do anything with that, Dr. Burnham?
Yeah, I would just accept
that?
it as a gift.
Yes. All right, then committee, I will take a motion to accept this gift on behalf of the class of 2021. Ms. Kelly.
Laura Kelly, I'd like to make a motion to accept this very generous gift from the class of 2021.
And a second? Ms. Archambault.
I'll second her motion.
Ready for roll call? Ms.
Yes.
Shapiro,
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Leighton,
Yes.
Mrs. Archambault,
Yes.
and Mrs. Bertrand.
Yes.
And just before our students log off and go enjoy the rest of their evening, as well as our class advisors, I just want to thank you all for all your efforts this year with your continued fundraising and the safety protocols that you put in place and the creativity with the different events that you had planned. Kudos to the advisors and all the kids. Well done, bravo. And I just want to offer a special thanks to our class advisors for the second year in a row. It's been a significant challenge trying to lead through a pandemic to, give the kids what they deserve and, execute as many of the traditions that we've come to know and love, and, modify them in a way that's appropriate and enjoyable and memorable. I know it's been a significant challenge with the changing protocols and what's allowable and what's not allowable and who's in control to make those decisions for us. So I do thank you, both of you, for your patience and your perseverance and your efforts on behalf of the kids. Again, bravo, well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to our superintendent evaluation. So just to give a little context, this evaluation happens annually around this time of year. As we're wrapping the school year, the school committee works collaboratively to create an evaluation for the superintendent. All the criteria are put forward by DESE, the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. So we receive a template and we work within that template as a school committee. So the full evaluation, because it's quite lengthy, will be posted to the district website under the school committee tab.
Correct.
Dr. Burnham, yes? Okay. But we wanted to share a bit of that, just the first the first part of this tonight publicly. So in this evaluation, the first part assesses progress toward superintendent goals. So Dr. Burnham has outlined many times her goals around professional practice, student learning, and district improvement. Regarding professional practice goals, as a committee, we felt she met her goals. Student learning goals, significant progress has been made toward those, and district improvement goals, significant progress has been made. And in some of these areas, some of the criteria and timelines in the goal set were farther into the year, out as late as August. So for some of these portions of it, you would only expect progress at this point, not necessarily having met the goal completely. And the other portion of this evaluation has 4 standards, and the standards are instructional leadership, management and operations, community, family and community engagement, and professional culture. And within each of these 4 areas, there were many indicators, many ways to look at and evaluate. In all 4 of these standards, Dr. Burnham received a rating of proficient, and we wanted to read a short narrative that we had in looking at the overall evaluation. Despite the challenges surrounding education during this pandemic school year, the Lunenburg Public Schools have made solid progress in the 2020-2021 school year. Dr. Burnham has displayed creativity, patience, resourcefulness, and strong leadership under difficult conditions. The implementation of the action plan in the strategy for continuous improvement is well underway. An overarching system of curriculum alignment, along with accompanying assessment tools and professional development, is in place under Dr. Burnham's guidance. The implementation of these systems are in various stages across the district and remain in process. Dr. Burnham's ability to be creative and transparent in budget development, as well as her relationship with the town manager, has presented the opportunity for continued growth in the district's instructional plans while maintaining the town's requested 2.5% increase in the overall budget numbers. The budget development process continues to be collaborative. The professional staff has been provided many opportunities for growth during this year. Great advances were made in the areas of technology and curriculum. These opportunities were afforded due to the efforts of Dr. Burnham understanding the needs of teachers and students and prioritizing those needs, resulting in additional professional development time and technology resources. The formation of the Equity Advisory Council indicates the importance Dr. Burnham places on culture and climate. There is much work to do in this area, and the use of a consultant will move this along in the next year. There is always room to improve, but Dr. Burnham consistently shows that she has the well-being of students, staff, and parents in mind while making all of her decisions, and we believe that the district is in good hands with Dr. Burnham. Two other areas I wanted to highlight, all of those indicators under those four different standards. They were all proficient with the exception of fiscal systems, in which Dr. Burnham received an exemplary rating. And one area identified as needing continued improvement is in cultural proficiency. So you can find the entire evaluation posted, again, district website under the school committee tab. Thank you, Dr. Burnham.
Thank you.
Any other, I guess I'll leave it. I do actually want to give the committee a chance if anyone has anything to say, because the only other thing I'd want to say is we each look at this individually and then we put it all together, merging all of our ideas across the board, both in ratings as well as narratives that go with each standard. Any committee members have anything additional they want to add? I wanted to give that opportunity. All right.
Ms. Burcham.
Yes. Sorry, Brian. Sorry.
Thank you.
I scrolled
I
past you.
just wanted to
Scrolling down.
add, not so much about the evaluation, but just the process. I really appreciated Dr. Burnham and Chairperson Bertrand's leadership on this. I thought the timeline worked really well with both of you just working collaboratively and your leadership to really just make it an easier process this year. I thought it was much smoother, gave us a good timeline to work with. So I appreciate it, and I hope it continues next year as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Anyone else? Ms. Shapiro.
I would also just like to say this is less about the evaluation specifically, but I just like to applaud your clear dedication and love for the students in the district this year. It's obviously been a hectic year to say the least, and I think that it's just been really clear that you've really been doing the most and like really trying to make this a good, fun year for everybody, and just it really shows. And I just wanted to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Ms. Kelly.
I just wanted to kind of go off of that. Your very, very long hours and very infrequent time off has been very much noted. And I truly hope you're getting a chance to kind of, as the year is coming to an end, that you'll be able to get a couple of days to yourself and relax, because you just worked so hard this year, and it was so much appreciated from students, the families, I'm sure the staff. It was just, thank you for doing a wonderful job.
Thank you. You know, nobody should be working any harder than I am working. I have to work equally as hard as everybody has been this year. So thank you. And, you know, I just pay that forward to the entire staff and the families that have partnered with us all year. This has been an extraordinary year for families as well. And our kiddos have just demonstrated great resilience. So kudos to all of them as well.
All right. And our next agenda item, spring athletics figures.
All right, so you have the latest numbers from AD Bunnell. If you have any questions, I may be able to answer them. If I can't answer them, I will get the answers for you. But he did let me know that the waivers for track, baseball, and softball have been yearly waivers to help fill out the teams. This year, we did use the 8th grade waiver for girls lacrosse. Again, that was to fill out a roster to be able to have the varsity level and the JV level teams. And Mr. Bunnell let me know that this year across all schools in the league, and actually across the state, they are seeing lower numbers of participants. And unfortunately, that's a trend that we've seen all year due to COVID.
Okay. Any questions from the committee? Well, thank you. And we are now up to public comment, open to any topic the school committee governs. And I'm moving across. I'm not. I am not seeing any hands, so we will move on to reports. Athletic advisory.
We have not met.
All right. Finance committee.
The Finance Committee met on the 29th of April, and there was much discussion surrounding the lack of timely notification for the TC Passios numbers for the warrant article, which of course all worked itself out at town meeting, but and was explained, but that was the conversation. There was a discussion of change in the estimate for the primary school fire alarm Mr. Beardmore reported that Mr. Cassidy feels that the $41,000 needed can be funded through the current budget, obviously along with the $25,000 from the state. And the town hall reopened on yesterday, and that would be that. And they're still looking for 2 more people. So I
Love it.
do
Give 'em the plug.
believe they have received some interest, so. Not appointed yet, though.
And PTO.
Wow, I can't speak. We will be meeting on Monday the 10th.
School councils. The primary.
The primary is going to be meeting on Monday, the 10th also.
Turkey Hill.
We have not met.
Middle school.
We'll be meeting towards the end of the month.
And the high school.
The high school council met yesterday. I was unable to attend because I am currently in finals, but I talked to Mr. McGrath and he sent a letter home to families about MCAS, including dates and information about the testing process. They discussed the ongoing network problems at the middle high school and how the tech team is trying to solve said problems. And they discussed the scheduling process for next year.
Capital planning has not met since our last meeting. Wellness advisory.
We will be meeting on Tuesday.
And Paxel.
Paxel will be meeting tomorrow evening at 6.
Excellent. TC Passios Building Design Committee.
So we did not meet, but there is an update from the town meeting. The warrant article was approved for the funding to figure out what it's going to cost for a total redo of the building where they tear it down and build new. So we can compare those costs and make so that the town and the citizens can make a proper decision on that property.
Excellent. Topics for future discussion. Anyone? No topics for future discussion. Then on that note, we will be going to executive session to conduct strategy and preparation for negotiations with union personnel or to conduct collective bargaining or contract negotiations, not to return to public session. Mr. Leighton.
I'll make a motion to go in executive session and adjourn after.
Is there a second? Ms. Archambault.
I will second that.
Roll call.
Yes.
Ms. Shapiro,
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Leighton,
Yes.
Mrs. Archambault,
Yes.
and Mrs. Bertrand.
Yes.
So we'll just stay on this meeting. If PAC would just conclude with the live streaming, we can move into executive session.